Am I the asshole for wasting everyone's time in therapy because I was accused of lying? My mom, her husband and I, 16 female, are in group therapy with each other. We started therapy a few weeks after Father's Day, because that was the final straw for them to insist we all needed therapy to work on why I won't let us be the family they want. We started at the end of July, and by the end of August my mom accused me of lying, called me a liar, and laid out this really big sob story about how much it hurt to have me lie to her and do everything in my power to destroy her marriage. It pissed me off so bad. I didn't lie at any point of this. I said as much in the follow-up session, and the therapist asked me to outline my side and how I felt having mom call me a liar. My mom kept trying to interrupt me. She told the therapist to shut up, and she accused me of being a vicious liar then. To give some explanation about the situation, my mom and her husband got married 3 years ago. They moved in together 2 months before. Before moving in, they sat me down and asked me if I was okay with us moving in together and making a family of 3 again. Mom brought up how we'd have a man around the house again. My dad died, and how good it would be for her to have a husband and for me to have a dad, and he said he couldn't wait to be my dad and he always wanted to be a dad. He said he already had plans for us for Father's Day. This was February of 3 years ago. I told them I wasn't okay with that stuff. That I didn't want another dad, wouldn't let him be my dad, and was not about to spend Father's Day celebrating someone who isn't dad. They started laughing and proceeded as normal, but Father's Day became a struggle because I have not spent the day with him the last 3 years, and he has tried, so has my mom. I meant what I said. I never called him dad or let him fill the role in my life. This year he snapped and he had a temper tantrum and said I was supposed to be with him on Father's Day and not spending the day alone, and he didn't sign up to be nothing to me. My mom called me a liar because she said I promised to develop a close relationship with her husband and that I said yes to wanting what they asked. She said I had said I would give him Father's Day, and I lied, and I have not followed through on any of it. She said I made them think I would be a willing participant and I wanted us to be a family. It pisses me off because I never said what she claims, and I even repeated what I had said back then. The therapist couldn't get mom to apologize, and she has no control over the sessions where my mom and her husband dominate. So I'm totally silent and I zone out. They only realized this 2 weeks ago. They called me on it and I spoke up again after more than a month of no talking in therapy, to confirm I wasn't listening, and it came up last week and I said I was done engaging because I was owed an apology for being called a liar. My mom and her husband are pissed that I'm wasting everyone's time letting therapy happen. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I'm surprised the therapist is still taking the sessions. They must need the money pretty badly. Your parents, like so many before them, aren't after therapy where you have to work on your own shit. They want a wizard who can change reality for them, and maybe change you for someone who wants to call your mom's husband dad. Good luck with it all. NTA. It took multiple sessions to notice you weren't paying attention anymore after the incident. I think that shows where their attention lies. Not the asshole. Accused of lying for sticking to the truth? Sounds like someone's rewriting history in group therapy, but they forgot you've got the receipts. Not the asshole. Your mother and her husband are horrifically selfish people. Do you have other family you can reach out to? Paternal grandparents, aunts and uncles? I'm so sorry you're going through this. Parents who try to force your feelings to fit the mold they want are a serious level of emotional abuse. Just start counting days till your 18th birthday. Make plans to leave and never, ever look back. Your mother and her husband do not deserve to be in the same room as you again. Not the asshole. That doesn't sound like therapy, it sounds like torture. Like they will keep repeating the lies until you agree with them. If they think they're wasting time and money, they're right, but it's their own fault. Focus on your schoolwork and your escape. Work as hard as you can and maybe you can get a scholarship to a college in another state. This is the advice I wish I had gotten when I was young and struggling with my home situation. You have control over the next part of your life. Maybe throw him a bone for the sake of peace? It doesn't have to be from the heart, but it might get them to stop harassing you. Am I the asshole for not going to my dad's house when he isn't there? My parents got divorced when I, 15 female, was 2 and my dad remarried when I was 4. My dad always had a job that took him away from home for days or sometimes weeks at a time. Because of this, the custody schedule my parents have for me isn't a traditional one but is dependent on my dad being home. If he's not in town, I don't go to his house. If he is, I go for a few days or a week depending on how long he's home for. My dad's wife has argued in the past that I should be allowed to spend dad's time at the house with her if dad isn't around, but mom and the courts disagree. This has meant they don't get along and my mom and dad's wife hate each other, and my dad resents mom for upsetting his wife. He's really rude to her when they have to talk, even in front of me. Mom stays civil but cool. My dad's wife is just really bitchy to mom if she says anything to or about her. Things only got worse when my half-siblings came along and my mom wouldn't agree to send me over if dad wasn't around. She did ask me if I wanted to go over more, but I didn't. She never told them that, so they still blame her. My dad left a week ago and he'll be gone for another 3 weeks. His wife was struggling with my half-siblings because she was sick. Some of them were sick and one of my half-siblings has ADHD and wasn't sick, so was going stir-crazy. She asked me to come over to help out and I didn't. She asked me 2 more times and I still didn't go. My dad called Sunday night and asked why I didn't go and at least help out for 10 or 15 minutes. I told him I didn't want to. My grandparents don't like Dad's wife, so they refused to help her out either, and her family isn't close to her. Dad told me to just do it, but I didn't, and then Monday Dad told me I was being a brat and things were falling apart there and I should be ashamed for being unwilling to do anything to help my family, and he lectured me on how they're family and it's not fair that I don't treat them like family, because if I did I would help. My mom told Dad I'm a child and he better leave me alone. So they argued. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You are not their free babysitter. If anything, the grandparents need to step in. You are a kid yourself and not responsible for taking care of your stepmother or half-siblings. You can ask your mom to speak to an attorney to see if your visitation can be modified further so you wouldn't have to go there at all if you don't want to. You are old enough to make that decision and shouldn't be forced to be with people who treat you like a servant. Your dad needs to hire a helper for his wife or convince his parents to help. You're not the It's not your responsibility to step in when your dad isn't around. Your mom and the courts set those boundaries for a reason. Sounds like your stepmother has created most of this situation, by trying to assert rights over you and by being rude to and about your mother. As such, of course you don't want to spend time with just her, and you don't feel inclined to drop your own life to go help her out with sick children. You probably need a sit-down conversation with your dad alone where you spell out that you don't have that sort of relationship with her and you currently don't want it. Currently you don't see her as family, so you aren't going to go stay with her or be a home help. If he wants a happy family where you feel comfortable at his house and want to spend time with his second family, he and his wife need to stop being so hostile to your mother and trying to control you. Not the asshole. If your dad was concerned, why didn't he stay home? My career was important to me, yet I still found time to stay with my family when my partner was sick or our children. Not the asshole. Interesting that nobody likes the wife, not even her own family. Seems to me that you are not a babysitter, maid, personal assistant or anything else. Dad can't use his time, so it goes to mom. You are not a brat. You are smart enough to know that wife would just use you. Hopefully one day you'll have the strength to text your dad. The problem that I have with being at your house is how you and your wife speak about my mom when she never badmouths either of you. If I talked about your mom the way the two of you speak about mine, I'd be in trouble. You want me to treat them like family when you trash my family. That is not right. I'm not going to your house when you are not there. That doesn't make me a brat. Not the asshole. You are not a free babysitter for your stepmom. If they want to continue making threats, you can always mention it to the courts, who decided that you didn't need to be there when dad isn't. Am I the asshole giving my nephew pizza bagels? My husband, M40s, and I, M40s, are hosting my sister, F40s, as well as her husband, my brother-in-law and their 2 kids A, toddler, and B, M12. Since they don't have a lot of time alone and also can't afford to take many vacations, my husband and I put them up in a hotel for 2 days, one night they're here so that they can have some alone time without the kids. My husband and I don't have any kids, but we're perfectly capable of taking care of the kids for a couple days solo. The toddler was pretty easy. Maybe she's not a toddler yet and she's still an infant, I'm not sure of the specific distinction, but she ate baby food and bottles and some puffed cereal stuff provided by my sis. The problem came with feeding my nephew B. For dinner we made a tossed salad together. Everyone helped out with chopping vegetables, it was great. Then we made pizza bagels for the main. We had a great low-key dinner with our salads and bagel bites, and we camped out in the TV room watching a movie until B fell asleep. In my mind I thought it was a great evening. Well, my sister and brother-in-law come back home from the hotel and were chatting in the kitchen when she notices the pizza bagel box sitting in the recycling. She said, "You eat pizza bagels?" And I said, "Well, not usually, but we made them last night with B." Well, she flipped out on me for feeding B such a garbage snack. That's when I said, "Whoa, we made a nice chopped salad to go along with it," and then she flipped out more for the fact that this was not merely a snack but our dinner. I told her people have pizza and salad for dinner all the time, what's wrong with this? It was fun and easy. She told me that now I'm going to have be obsessed with junk food and that, if I had known this was going to happen, I never would have trusted you with taking care of them. You're not a parent and it shows. Which honestly just felt like a low blow. My brother-in-law apologized to me in private, but my sister is still acting cold. Not the asshole. Yikes. People like your sister are how people grow up to have eating disorders. Not the asshole. If she had any dietary preferences for the 12-year-old, she could have let you know. You did also make a salad and looked after them for the night. She got a child-free getaway for the evening and it sounds like you had a great time with B. Not the asshole. I saw she has, an eating disorder. Her reaction makes me think that she might need some maintenance therapy. It's okay to control what you eat. It's not okay to monitor what your kid eats. It's not okay to tell your spouse they can't put dressing on their salad or eat their popcorn before the movie starts. She's on the path of passing down the eating disorder to the kids. Not the asshole. You're welcome for feeding, watching your child and putting you up in a hotel for a night, would have been appropriate here. You made the pizza bagels, you didn't order them in. They were presumably made from at least some food ingredients. And a salad with them. This sounds like a delicious dinner that I would have loved as a kid. A cafe that used to be in my town made vegetarian pizza bagels with tomato paste, beans and cheese on them. I want one now. I'm gonna make some for my lunch. Not the asshole honestly. You were being the fun aunt and having a sleepover party. Now you will be the mean aunt who never babysits out of fear of being yelled at over something silly. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not making my boyfriend an advent calendar? Edited because of really bad grammar, I just needed to put in some s here and there. First, sorry English is my second language, now to the point. I, 22 female, have a cat. I love her to the moon and back, and I made her an advent calendar from cat food for special occasions. Meaning things for her hair, bone structure, special treats and Christmas food like one I found with deer and cranberries. It's really high quality and special things I normally wouldn't get her, don't worry, she always gets good food, just not that good. Now the problem. My boyfriend, 28 male, is jealous, cause I wouldn't do that for him, and he doesn't feel appreciated. Okay, I can get behind not feeling appreciated, so I offered him we could make each other some calendars, maybe themed? I think it would be cute. He thinks he shouldn't do one for me, because L obviously like doing that. And I am willing to make one for the cat, why not for him? I made one for him at the beginning of our relationship, like 4 years ago, and he didn't appreciate it. It was a really low-key one cause I didn't have much money back then, but obviously stopped after he didn't like that one. Thinking about getting him 24 packs of high-quality cat food, since he's jealous of my cat. Not the asshole at all, especially not because he didn't appreciate the one he got. Even worse that he doesn't want to put in that effort for you either. Kinda off topic, but I'd love to know how you make them. Me and my boyfriend are going to be long distance soon, and I think an advent calendar with little things could be cute when I'm gone. I'm also gonna look into this online, so no worries if you don't want to tell me at all, and thank you so much for giving me this amazing idea. Not the asshole. He has a few red flags showing. He's jealous of a cat, did not appreciate your advent calendar you had made for him years ago, and refuses to make one for you. I would really question your relationship with this person moving forward if this is how he acts. Not the asshole. He's jealous of your cat. Even if I think you are taking the whole advent calendar a bit far, lol, he's an adult and can buy himself a calendar. Not the asshole. He thinks he shouldn't do one for me, because L obviously like doing that. And I am willing to make one for the cat, why not for him? That's such a bullshit stance. Now to the important part. What exactly did you buy for the calendar? Not the asshole. If your boyfriend is jealous of your cat, you need to dump him. Holy fuck, that's ridiculous. He is jealous of your cat getting special treats. I have 2 questions. 1. Does his jealousy manifest in his treatment of your kitty in any other way? 2. Does he do special things for you? Not the asshole.